we went to buy groceries last night because we're like, we have no food and life is hell. So we went to the grocery store, and the lady in front of us looked like a normal lady, right? She was like, hey, just...
I don't like how you're setting this
Well, because what happens afterwards is abnormal. So the grocery store we go to has a rewards program that I need to set up very, very simply in order for you to understand why what she did is basically a war crime. So if you have a loyalty card with the grocery store, you get cheaper goods. Like, you get the sale price on goods. If you don't, if you go, I don't really want the card, then you get the normal price on goods. So it ends up saving you maybe like $10 a grocery trip to have this card. And you collect points. And the points are basically worthless, but sometimes there's sales that are like, hey, for, if you give us 1,000 points, then this loaf of bread is free instead of it costing you like $1.99 or something like that. Long story short, we're waiting in line. And then this lady in front of us looks like a normal lady. She goes, hey, I forgot my card, but I, really want to get the sale prices. Can I borrow yours? And I was like, that sounds like a little, it sounds good, but, a little suspicious. So I was just like, we're fine. Basically not my problem that you forgot your card.
You just said, no, we're fine?
Which is selfish. So I recognize that, but then she's like, I would really like to get the sale price on the card. And I was like, okay, explain this to me one more time. And she explained it, and I was like, so you're just going to take our card, you're going to give it to that lady, and then you're going to get the sale price, then you're going to give us back the card. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, you know what? I misinterpreted you at first. That sounds fine. So I gave her the card. She's up there getting her shit scanned. And then the cashier, as they do with this card, goes like, hey, she scans some potatoes. And she goes, do you want to use your points for these potatoes?
No.
The implication being... if you use 1,000 points, you're going to get $1 off these potatoes. She thinks about it, and I'm looking at her. I'm looking right into
There's no thinking in
the
this
window of her soul. She thinks about it, and I was just like, maybe she's running on autopilot. And she's used to saying yes. She goes, no. And I was like, yeah, you're fucking right, no. Those are our points. We're going to use those in 10 years to, go see a Canucks game or something. And then, so I'm like, this lady's pretty good, right? 2 minutes later, she's scanning a loaf of bread, and then the lady goes, so you want to use your points on the bread? And she goes, well, how much would it save? And the cashier goes, oh, it'll be $1 off. And she goes, yeah, use the points. And I was like, what world is this? If you had done it in the heat of the moment, and then later been like, no, I apologize, and that's one thing, you thought about the question and became a worse person later. It actually blew me away in terms of my faith in humanity.
What did you say to her?
I didn't say anything. So I was like, I'm not gonna fight this fucking...
Were you stunned?
I was stunned is one way to put it. I never expected in a million years she would say yes to the second one after saying no to the first one and doing the right thing.
I'm a very quiet person. I let a lot of things slide. I don't think I could let that slide.
So where I've fallen on that is that first, this lady's a fucking shithead.
She knew she had you.
Yeah, she's a total bitch. And she is actually going to cause me to lose faith in humanity. So this is why when people are like, hey, somebody with smells like a freaking 40 of Old English says hi to you on the street, why don't you respond to them, you asshole? You're being so judgmental. This is why this doesn't happen, okay? And the second thing that I want to point out is that this lady has now made me into a bad person. Because after that, she had a 15-minute negotiation with the cashier. Because you have to pay 5 cents for plastic bags here. So she was like, I'd really like some bags, but I don't want to pay for them. And then the cashier was like...
What's the matter with this?
I don't know, she's crazy, dude! And then the cashier was like, oh yeah, you don't have to pay for plastic bags if you just buy...
We're just taking off the card.
Well, if you just buy those reusable bags over there... then you don't have to pay for plastic bags. She's like, how much are the reusable bags? And she's like, well, 99 cents. She's like, I don't think you're understanding me. I would really like some bags, but I don't want to pay for them. This lady was crazy. And I would feel worse about it if her cart was 4 candy bars and cigarettes or something like that. But she had food for a family in her cart that she paid for on a credit card. So I don't understand. This she's posted on R Frugal. She's probably a fucking mod over there. Just here's a life pro tip for you. Want to save $8 on your groceries? Just ask someone else for the card out of the goodness of their heart, and then use their points to get a cheap loaf of bread. Anyway, that's my grocery story, and I've lost all faith in humanity. If I ever see her again, I will say that when I looked at her, she didn't look like a hobo. But I was like,
did she look guilty?
No, she looked like something was just not quite right. I was like, this lady's not, she's not fully put together. I'm not saying that she wasn't, you know, like wearing her best nightclub attire. I'm just saying, I was trying to pinpoint it from a sartorial standpoint. I was like, what's wrong with this picture right here? Anyway, so check it out, lady. Your scam loophole's been closed. We've just outed you, so you picked the wrong person to try to fuck over once. Except you got away with it, but, you know, apart from that.
You think she did it again the next day to someone else?
I don't even understand what the deal is. She's actually, like, she has money. She's just a jerk.
What if you weren't the first person?
I guarantee I was not the first person. Did she give you the rewards card back after? Yeah. The rewards card is not a credit card. It's literally just like it's a loyalty card.
When you took it back from her, I assume you looked her in the eye.
Well, she you know, this isn't her first rodeo. As soon as she put all of her groceries on the thing and then had, like, the first one get scanned and the card get scanned, she gave me the card back. Before, you know, point gate.
Oh, before the offense took place.
Yeah, exactly. I was more, first off, small price to pay to learn a lesson is always my philosophy here. Secondly, anything that gives me more ammunition to be a justifiable jerk in the future is okay. Thirdly, the point value of what we lost was probably like $1.50. So, in the end, not a huge deal at all. But man, I was like, what it illuminated for me is, if you make a mistake, people make mistakes, right? In the heat of the moment, a crime of passion. You're like, yeah, I'll use the points. And then for the next one, you'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I forgot. These are my points. Is that okay? And I'd be like, yeah, you know, no problem. To do the right thing on the first one, and then ask how much it's going to save, and do the wrong thing on the second one is mind-blowing to me. I think she got, I was very close to being like, we're going to do this. But again, like, it always comes down to, like, not just, like, have I been wronged, but is the amount that I've been wronged worth the hassle of what's about to happen? I was on, like, the borderline, and I was jet lagged. So I was like, you know what? You got me today. I've made myself vulnerable, and for that, I think I deserve a little slap on the wrist for, you know, forgetting that all people are scum. So, you know what? You've taught me a valuable lesson. I appreciate that. Go fuck yourself. I actually hope you get in a car crash and die.
It's funny, too, because like you said, it is only, like, $1. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's an insignificant amount, but it's just
you want her to die over $1?
It's not the dollar. Like, I understand.
She deliberately stole the dollar. Yes. So, yes, I do want her to die. It's
like, she didn't just... It's like she walked up and was like, hey, could you show me your wallet? And, like, you just, like, you know, show her a wallet, and she just takes $1 out and gave it back.
Yeah.
Like, it's so absurd, the level of how she did that.
If somebody asked you, could I see your wallet, would you hand it to
There's
them?
zero chance, especially today.
No, you didn't even hand it to her. It's like you just, you know, wanted to show it. And then
and she, with her eyes, removed it psychically.
I wouldn't put it past her, man. This lady's capable of, like, anything here. So, yeah, if you wanted, like, my vote for biggest piece of shit on the planet, like, there's a lady in Vancouver probably lives in a home value at, like, $1.8 million that not too stoked about right now.
What if she was the one that sang that Vancouver song?
She wasn't. Honestly, if she was, then she deserved it, because we've gotten a lot of mileage out of that, so I can't really be too mad.
Royalties at that point.
And the other thing was, I was like, well, we probably lost like $1.50, but I'm going to get some mileage out of this tomorrow. Is it worth it? Because we're going to have a post on the NLSS Circle Jerk subreddit that's like, you know, warning, if you're in the Vancouver area, this individual's going around trying to use your points card, and then it's the picture of Mathis with his...
Except it's not going to say warning, it's going to say be advised.
Oh, there you go, even better.